Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to introduce many different connections to the prequels, the original Star Wars Rebels, and even borrowing elements from the EU/Legends material by director J.J. Abrams in order to tell a very unique and original story for Episode 9. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the great thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is being treated very carefully by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. and crew, as well as creator George Lucas, in order to make it a very satisfying movie for hardcore fans and casual fans alike around the world. Now, with that being said, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the character of Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, and the Knights of Ren. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren entering one of the abandoned Imperial bases located in an unknown star system in the Outer Rim that Kylo travels to in order to discover certain secrets of the past. It's described that eventually Kylo Ren enters of what's said to be Palpatine's vault, full of relics, artifacts, and messages from those Palpatine dealt with. It's said that eventually Kylo Ren activates a large hologram of Darth Maul, around the same size it was in Solo: A Star Wars Story's ending, where Maul talks about the Dark Temples around the galaxy. It's said that at one point in time during the hologram message, Darth Maul refers to himself as Maul Zitsu Oppress. It's said that the message takes place well before Rebels, when Maul had forgotten what his name was, and that he had a name once. It's described that Maul Zitsu Oppress is a direct callback to Maul's brother, Savage Oppress, who was his older Sith Lord brother who eventually fought Palpatine besides Maul. Maul describes that one of the Dark Temples were created by a fallen will that initiated the bridge to the beyond. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because this is truly shocking, because a lot of people have been wondering for the longest time, what is Darth Maul's real name, and would it ever be answered in Star Wars Rebels, in which it wasn't. The only thing that we got in Rebels was that Maul actually reveals that he had a name once, and that it is long forgotten to him. So now in Episode 9, through this hologram of Darth Maul, Maul refers to himself as, of course, Maul Zitsu Oppress, and this is all said to take place well before the events of Star Wars Rebels, so that makes sense. It's well before the events of when Maul was cut into two pieces as well. So this definitely does actually make a lot of sense as to why he would now remember his name and actually refer to himself as his real name. In fact, this could very well take place before he was even sided with Palpatine, for all we know. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that this film is actually said to answer a lot of questions. Now, in the Maul hologram, he's talking about the Dark Temples, one of the temples of which were created by a fallen will. Now, the wills, in case you guys have no idea who they are these godlike beings that watch over the entire Star Wars universe. They are basically watching over all the events that take place from Star Wars Episode 1 all the way up until Episode 9, and everything that falls in between each and every episode. And what I like about that is that it really does create a different perspective, if you will, from, of course, the Star Wars universe through the Star Wars fans and what's really going to happen in this film. So this Maul hologram is described to be about the same exact size as it was at the very end of Solo: A Star Wars Story, which is interesting, and is also said to have the color in the hologram itself. So you're going to be able to see the iconic red paint of Darth Maul, or the skin, I should say, of Darth Maul that we do get to see in, of course, Solo: A Star Wars Story, that appears in the actual hologram itself. And what I like about that is that, the makeup artists, they did a great job on Ray Park, in The Phantom Menace, and of course in Solo: A Star Wars Story with the red paint on his face for the skin of Maul. I gotta tell you, the fact that they are so good at what they do, and the fact that they are trying to get back into it for another Star Wars film is great. In fact, I think that was one of the big surprises of the Han Solo film, was that we got Darth Maul at the very end, really setting up a series, from what it seemed, between both Qi'ra and Maul of Crimson Dawn. But anyways, guys, I would like to say this, though, however, is that this all takes place within one of Palpatine's vaults. We do know that there are a number of Palpatine's vaults, one of which also is on the world of Pilio. So, could it very well be that this is the world that Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren go to? Could this very well be on the world of Pilio from Battlefront 2's campaign? Now, keep in mind that this world in Episode 9 is based over in the Outer Rim. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly where Pilio is based. I'm pretty certain that it is near the Outer Rim. It may not be directly in the Outer Rim, but if I'm wrong, please, correct me if you guys want to actually go ahead and check that out. The other thing that I do want to touch on is the Darth Maul hologram is also said to reveal a lot of new revelations involving the Wills. So we're going to be learning more about the Wills in the story, which was an original creation and/or vision by George Lucas that is now being picked up by Disney, Lucasfilm, and JJ. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.